Alright everybody, recently we watched a video by a YouTuber named Been a Minute, and I thought it was a really good one, but unfortunately it didn't do the best job at proving the point that it tried to make, which sucks because it's a point I really agree with, and seeing a point I agree with not made in the best way, not proven all that concretely, can be a bit frustrating. And that's why I'm happy to say today that Been a Minute has released a sequel to his original video, and I think it is going to be far better because it actually works off of one of my biggest criticisms of the original video. Allow me to explain. There's a little backstory you guys probably need to know for the sake of context. One of my biggest, if not my biggest ever video on my entire channel is a video in which I simply tell my story, like the story of my political journey. From being a, raised secular, liberal-ish, but not very politically interested teenager, getting invested in right-wing politics through Gamergate, getting pretty radicalized to some pretty crazy right-wing positions, while then eventually getting pulled out of it, realizing these ideas are wrong, and eventually becoming a progressive content creator that argues against ideas that I once believed. That video is about my story. People seem to really resonate with it. It's a very long video, and I give a lot of, contextual details that kind of, I hope, do a good job to explain how people are put into a position in which they are ready to move one way or another politically. And people really liked that content. People loved that video. So it goes to show that there is a high demand for conversation about, particularly, the internet's tendency to feed unsuspecting people, especially in their teens, into the right-wing rabbit hole. They may come out of it at any point, but many go so far down, they come out the other side full-on Nazis. And I criticize this. And so did Been a Minute. The video Been in a Minute made a little while ago was one about making a new YouTube account and just clicking on the first YouTube video that comes up on the homepage and letting it all autoplay until it quote-unquote turns him alt-right. We reacted to this video, and while I did say that there's a chance some iffy stuff might autoplay or get recommended, if you just start out as a fresh account, click the first thing that comes up and just let it autoplay, some fishy stuff might come up. But unlike the years of 2016 to 2019, YouTube videos are not the primary way through which the right is spreading their propaganda these days. There are two main methods in which they're doing it now: long-form content and short-form content. They've actually gravitated pretty far from the center and more towards the extremes. And so I've said for a while, if you want to find this type of tendency, you either need to go to something like Spotify, which hosts all the big podcasts, listen to the top 10 podcasts maybe, and see how many of them are overtly right-wing or would radicalize one to the right wing. Or, if you want to go the short-form content route, you would go to YouTube Shorts or TikTok and see how long you have to doom scroll for until the algorithm tries to make you a Nazi. Now, I don't know if Been a Minute heard my video or saw it and decided that he agreed with my criticism. I won't say that I've got a big ego, but I think it's possible. Unlikely, though. Regardless, he has made a sequel to his original video, and it addresses that issue. It is called I Watched Shorts Until It Turned Me Alt-Right, featuring, by the way, Mini Minute Man, the YouTuber who does the great history and anthropology and geology content and debunks people like flat earthers, conspiracy theorists, people who think giants and angels and Bigfoot are real or aliens built the pyramids. What a crossover. I'm pretty hyped for this one. Seems like some good stuff here. Now, YouTube Shorts, as I said, is really where the right has dominated and where the algorithm is likely to start feeding you some crazy shit. So this video, I think, is going to do a much better job of proving the point the original video tried to make, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to watch this. I've not seen a second of this video besides, I guess, the first second of it. I've completely allowed myself to be blind on this one. I am very excited to watch it, though. Thank you to those that recommended this video, though. I had no idea it had been released, and I'm quite excited to watch it. So let's see. How long does it take as a new account to watch YouTube Shorts until it turns you alt-right?
YouTube has a lot of content to watch. Some of it is long, and some of it is short. Some of it is mild, and some of it is radical. Now, with this in mind, I was curious to see if watching only YouTube Shorts could speed up a descent into the alt-right political pipeline. Each short is not very long, so in theory...
Yeah. Guys, I can tell you that just from my daily clicking onto YouTube Shorts, I'm lucky if I don't get fed some Nazi propaganda from scrolling through like 10 videos. It's that bad. Like, this video should be very quick to the Nazi propaganda being pushed on the viewer.
Theory, indoctrination into a political ideology should be faster than the old-fashioned way of watching long-form content. So how many shorts does it take until YouTube starts recommending me far-right or alt-right content? Well, without spoiling too much, let's just say that it's not very long.
Yeah. This isn't even, like, profound. This isn't even, like, crazy. This is what you get pushed if you go on YouTube Shorts. Like, this is just what you see if you go there. That is where the radicalization on YouTube is happening now, is here.
Hey, it's been a minute, and welcome to...
It's been a minute.
But before we get too far into this, we need to define what alt-right...
Get it? Because the intro... Because the intro is simultaneously him saying, hey, it's me, in reference to his name, which has been a minute. But when he does that, he is also simultaneously saying, hey, it's been a minute, as if it's been like something someone would say if it's been a while since they've seen someone, which is actually a pretty common YouTube intro, but it's also his introduction. He's introducing himself. It has a double meaning, guys. I'm sorry. I'm being stupid right now. This bit is dumb.
Is. This is a hard thing to do, and the definition can be pretty subjective, so I brought a friend along to dive a bit deeper into this topic. Some of you may know him. He's an archaeologist, environmental scientist, and a phenomenal debunker of alt-facts and alt-history. I had the privilege to meet him and get to work with him on a fantastic video that will be coming out later. I'm not going to spoil anything, but here to talk about the alt-right pipeline is the great Milo Rossi.
Hey, it's been a minute. It has been a minute.
I'm trying to fit in.
Guys, today, to talk about the alt-right, I have Mini Minute Man.
He sure does. In the flesh. In person.
Flesh.
Right
He's
here.
right here. I'm curious because I think defining the alt-right or the far-right can be subjective. So I think there's some flags and maybe some signs that we need to look for when conducting this experiment. So I wanted to talk to you because you have dealt with sort of that alternative facts side of YouTube. So I would love to understand maybe the relationship between the alt facts and the alt-right.
Absolutely. Well, Ben, that's a great question. For those of you that don't know, my name is Milo Rossi. I use the YouTube handle Mini Minuteman, and I focus on archaeology and primarily pseudo-archaeology and alt history, where I will, kind of weigh the claims made by the alt history crowd and compare them to, well, actual research and facts. Now, I encounter this all the time in what I do.
I think it's really interesting that a creator whose entire background is just in debunking misinfo that really has no political affiliation. It's just there are individuals out there who, for their own individual personal profit, are lying to gullible idiots online, telling them angels are real and giants exist and Bigfoot and aliens are out there. And racketing up a ton of money off of saying, like, see this? This is a footprint of a giant. They make these YouTube shorts or these TikToks and they rack up a ton of money, and this guy debunks it. It's interesting that through doing so, he's recognized that that we are entering an era of misinformation, and he is now branched out into debunking right-wing misinformation because as someone who just made their whole thing debunking pseudoscience, he inevitably found himself discovering the entire industry of misinfo peddling that the right has built. And as someone who I'm sure was always somewhat progressive, but wasn't really a political guy, is now getting into politics because he realizes that the right's misinfo campaign is all just part of the internet facilitating gullible people to choose a reality that is convenient for them to believe, not the one that's actually true.
I think that there is a very strong parallel between sort of more far right-leaning sympathies and sort of the alternative history, alternative facts, sort of group. Now, I will say, and I think you made a good distinction with this at the beginning, that I want to avoid giving my own definition of what, the alt-right is or the far-right is. I think that's something that the viewers can kind of come up with on their own, unless you find a more standardized definition that isn't as subjective as either of us would say. But this is something that we see a lot in kind of the history space where, at first you're kind of talking about ideas of, like ancient aliens and kind of like those more goofy things. And, you're watching your documentaries about, the lost advanced civilizations and things like that. And that's all very interesting and very endearing and something that's really thought provoking. But as you begin to go sort of more and more into it, you begin to come across a lot of, characters and personalities that are really beginning to twist it a lot more into politics. And I think that kind of this correlation that we end up seeing between sort of alt history and sort of that alt-right pipeline is really this a combination of sort of anti-intellectualism as well as sort of this populist movement that has a really big distrust for any sort of authoritative body.
Right.
So in any
Said it better than I could.
information coming out of academia is immediately written off as being biased or being misinformation or being a lie, and the information and sort of facts and deductions made by one individual is seen as somehow trumps all of that. And so that's a difficult thing to sort of contend with as we dive into the alt history field, because it is something that begins as something that isn't inherently political, but in my opinion and from what I've seen doing this for quite a while, it eventually almost always does become something political. But we see it really really heavily now, where it goes one day you're talking about Atlantis, and the next day you're seeing the same people talking about Atlantis using anti-Semitic dog whistles, and it's like whoa, how did we end up here?
Something you're gonna find is that a lot of people go from, like, a lot of conspiracy theorists and a lot of people who believe that stuff and a lot of conspiracy theories in general, they have to have a scapegoat, someone to blame for all of the lies that they've supposedly been spread, that they've been liberated from, quote unquote. And more often than not, it tends to come back to the Jews. They always end up blaming the Jews.
So what you're doing, I think, is really important, and I'm excited to see what becomes of it.
I am too. I have no idea what's going to happen yet. I haven't done it yet. So,
we have no idea.
Yeah, this is live.
We'll be back with Milo once we have some actual data and results at the end of the experiment. But for now, let's start getting things set up. All right, so we're going to make a brand new Google account. We're going to do Jane.
What we're here for.
Jane Doe. Do September 11th, 2001. Rather not say. The fun part about doing this with shorts is all I have to do is just click on this shorts tab right here, and we're straight in it. I don't have to search for anything. I don't have to figure out where to start this experiment, because it's just going to put me straight into a short. And then I'm going to be in that short and see how long it takes for YouTube to suggest
What's the first short?
right-leaning shorts. Bon voyage. Here we go.
Alphabet, Glinda. Alphabet, Glinda. I'm a witch and I'm a witch. But which is which? Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
Okay, pretty standard stuff. This is the kind of stuff that you just kind of scroll through because there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just kind of not really what you're looking for, probably. There's not much entertainment value, but this is pretty standard stuff. I'm glad YouTube gets you started on some pretty normie-friendly stuff as a new user who clicks on YouTube Shorts. But I have a feeling that in the next 30 swipes, we're going to see something like a Joe Rogan clip. That's going to be my bet. We're going to see a clip from a right-wing podcast. That's going to be where it starts.
All right.
Let me move my face cam.
You may have already seen the video, but a few months ago, I conducted an experiment where I made a brand new YouTube account, enabled incognito mode, we'll get back to that in a minute, and auto-played long-form YouTube videos indefinitely to see if the algorithm eventually fed me far-right content. Now, I'm not going to spoil the results from that video because you should definitely go watch it after this one. However, a lot of you in the comments pointed out some flaws with my methodology that I will be addressing and fixing for this go-around with YouTube Shorts. So here are the guidelines and changes I've made for this experiment. First things first, I will be using a VPN to hide my IP address. And on top of that, I'm using a private browser called Brave. None of these are sponsors, by the way. It was honestly a perfect opportunity for them to be, but they didn't respond to my emails. So this video is not sponsored. But if you like the shirt that I'm wearing and you want to go pick one up for yourself and support the channel at the same time, you can go to the store linked down below in the description. My dad helped me design these. He's an artist, and I think they look really cool. So I hope you like them too. Thank you so much for checking them out. All right, where were we? Oh yeah, a lot of you also pointed out that by not watching the videos in their entirety, I was influencing the algorithm via watch time. So today I'm going to be watching the whole short all the way through before scrolling.
That is true. YouTube's biggest metric that it cares about now in 2025 is watch time. Likes and comments matter a lot, don't get me wrong, but actually, the best way you can support a video is to like, comment, and more than anything, watch all of it. YouTube considers the amount of time you spend watching certain videos your endorsement or non-endorsement of said content. When you choose not to watch said videos, they consider that an endorsement or not an endorsement of that content. So if you say get annoyed by a Joe Rogan short popping up in your feed and you watch all of it, like you rage watch all of it to YouTube, not only is that like 100% watch retention for the video, which is going to help it do better in the algorithm, but it tells YouTube that you liked it so much you watched the whole thing. And if you're not watching anything else in its entirety, YouTube's going to think, oh, we found what you want.
Rolling on to the next one. Thank God they're not longer than a minute, or this video would probably take until the 2028 presidential election. Oh, what's that? They could be up to 3 minutes now? Awesome.
Yep.
God, I should have done this months ago. I will also be taping out my camera and my microphone on my computer, and I also want to make sure that I'm not muting any of the shorts while watching them. All of this could influence the algorithm, so I'm going to take all of the precautions. I'm not messing around this time. Also, if you see me looking down writing something, it's me tallying and keeping count of
You got
which
Minecraft shorts, a movie clip, it would seem.
This is music over Sully. The best plane movie. What's your favorite plane movie?
Movie clips are pretty common, with random music edits.
So funny.
The random
I
ass
think we've done
fucking
the same
movie
song
edits.
as the Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars Die with a Smile.
Why is it the same
It's
thing
the
over
Sean
and over?
Ryan show.
Lord, just as David called upon you.
Oh,
Getting a
well, there
little
we go.
Jesus blessing, guy.
There we go. How many shorts in are we? We're 5 in, and we're getting Jesus shit with AI voices reading it out. It's an AI voice reading out gospel. I think we're getting close, guys. I think we're seeing the first hint of it, and we're like 5 shorts in right now.
We're on Jesus shorts.
Oh!
Sean Ryan show. Okay.
Oh shit! Guys, what did I tell you? What did I fucking tell you? What did I tell you? I told you it would be fucking podcasters. It would be the fucking podcast clips. You cannot get this shit out of your shorts feed. Do not doom scroll YouTube shorts. These dumbass podcasts, dude bro podcasts, will be all over your screen.
This is another Sean Ryan show clip.
Where's your intersecting sector of 5?
I don't know what that is. I wish I knew who that was.
And we're at a bomb maker's house.
I guess I'll find out. Well, I did find out. Now, I didn't know it at the time, but after doing a little bit of researching, I discovered some interesting things about the Sean Ryan show. Sean is a former Navy SEAL who has his own podcast.
They all are.
Where, quote, you will find war stories, self-help, and funny product reviews. Sounds pretty cool, right? But what he doesn't say in his bio is that just a few weeks ago, he had on Pete Hegseth, Trump's current pick for the Secretary of Defense, who is an alcoholic, an alleged rapist, a Christian nationalist, and, what else? Oh, yeah. And also his own mother called his behavior towards women despicable and abusive. During the podcast episode with Pete, Sean didn't question him on many of these things. Instead,
I'm telling you guys, it's always the podcasts. It's always the podcasts. Every time. I swear I did not pre-watch this. I just predicted correctly exactly what is most likely to be pushed on you as far as right-wing content. It's these goddamn podcasts. They've dominated the podcast world.
Painted him in a very positive light, and they had a good old time chit-chatting about how sick being in charge of the largest military in all of human history would be. Yeah, sounds badass, dude. Cool. Now I know what you're thinking. That's just one guy on the podcast who happens to lean to the right. And yeah, you're right. Right. But what I forgot to mention is that just in the past 6 months, he has also had on Tulsi Gabbard, Megyn Kelly, Kash Patel, RFK Jr., Tucker Carlson, Vivek Ramaswamy, Jordan Peterson, JD Vance, Donald J. Trump, and for all of my Google debunkers watching this, pseudo-archaeologist Randall Carlson. So yeah, there we go. It took only watching 48 shorts to get to one that was promoting the far right.
48.
Maybe not directly, but one click on the Sean Ryan channel and 2 podcast episodes later, and now I think the pyramids are actually ancient power plants and that undocumented migrants have caused a housing shortage. All it takes is just one suggestion from the algorithm. This is why it's called a pipeline, and boy, did that not take very long. No wonder they call them shorts. Now let's take a step back for a moment. Remember, I didn't know any of this about Sean Ryan at the time when I was recording. So I didn't realize what had just happened when I got these shorts recommended. From here, I was unknowingly put on a path that was not only right-leaning, but also, maybe unsurprisingly, very, very, very Christian. So let's see where it ended up taking me.
My ways higher than your ways. Is that anything that you're worried about?
I love AIG.
And it's important to point out he's not skipping any of these. He's watching them all to the end and just letting this shit doom scroll. So YouTube is just... Eventually, this is what it starts shilling you if you go through YouTube Shorts. Just inevitably. If you are a fresh account and you just doom scroll and you don't give it anything to go off of, it will default to this because the bots default to this. The new accounts, the unknowing, very impressionable people that fall for this kind of stuff flock to this kind of stuff. And so YouTube gives it to them.
Jesus. That's right. Everyone, please bow your heads and join together in prayer because we got AI Jesus. Is this a Bible verse or is someone just talking about something? Oh, and plenty more movie edits as well. I'm so glad the exposure got turned up to 115 on here. It looks a lot better than the original color grading of the movie. Then seemingly out of the blue, my YouTube algorithm decided to throw a wild card into the mix. I really don't know what led us to getting this short because the only shorts we had been watching all day were mostly Christian cooking and movies. But just like the God that I was introduced to through my Christian shorts, the YouTube algorithm must work in very mysterious ways. Because check out what I got next.
I've been accused of faking the before and after photos of this.
I mean, what's your profit margin, Mr. Patrick?
It's circa 50%.
Mr.
Josh Hawley. Guys.
Wait, he did... Wait. He did skip a short. Wait, that's breaking the rules. Didn't he skip that short?
Check out what I got next.
I've been accused of faking the before and after photos of this.
I mean, what's your profit margin?
Yeah, okay, so if you skip any shorts, it's going to have an impact because you'll naturally watch the ones that are iffy. But yeah, I mean, this does really go... No, it must have replayed? Okay, maybe it replayed. Fair. Okay. Fair.
Mr. Patrick?
It's circa 50%.
Mr.
Josh Hawley. Guys. Josh Hawley is a Republican senator who's like super crazy right. I've only been doing this for a day. I've only watched like less than 120 shorts. Now, if there's one thing I know for sure after doing this experiment twice with both long form and short form, is that the YouTube algorithm loves this young senator from Missouri. If you make a brand new YouTube account right now, you will be introduced to Josh Hawley at some point in your journey. I'm all for, cracking down on Visa and MasterCard.
There are a lot of clips that are like, Josh Hawley owns insert Democrat. A lot of those clips get pushed on YouTube Shorts. I'm surprised. I thought that was just my feed, but I guess that's everybody. Yeah, like, the YouTube Shorts algorithm is where the alt-right pipeline is now. Don't get me wrong. The chuds that are making, like, the traditional video content are still a problem, but YouTube Shorts are where the normies are getting radicalized. It's why I want to get into making shorts a lot more myself, kind of counter that. It's a whole different algorithm that I'm not really, like, countering.
Profit margins too. Like this is not something I disagree with, but it is interesting that it's this YouTube channel is showing the section where Josh Hawley is pressing them. It's highlighting Josh Hawley. It's not highlighting the hearing. While we weren't on the far right side of the YouTube Shorts yet, I knew that this clip could be the catalyst that would take us there. All right, pipeline, here we come. What is this?
Everything that you sow, you will reap eventually.
Yeah, just kidding. We got more Christian shorts.
Get ready for your blessings.
Okay.
God is
and I mean a lot of Christian shorts.
Look at those pecs.
Oh my God.
That's fine too. We're going to keep going. But then from the Christian shorts, we started to get recommended motivational shorts.
Life isn't a movie. You need to have a plan, have an artist's ambition, but an engineer's mindset.
Which, from my experience, aka being an
Dude, like, that's also AI if you couldn't tell. YouTube Shorts is so much AI slop. I hope that one day YouTube just shuts down the shorts part of their entire platform. I really do. It is only valuable to the worst types of content out there, it feels like. Every 100th short will be something good or interesting. All the rest is AI slop, re-uploaded movie clips edited together. It's garbage. It's just content farm shit. That is all YouTube Shorts is content farm shit. Nothing of value is ever uploaded there.
Impressionable 20-year-old online back in 2016 can definitely have a strong connection to some right-leaning internet personalities.
I feel like the whole motivational side of shorts, which I just got, could definitely lead into like the Jordan Peterson, like, make sure to make your bed every morning, and then from there you can get stronger.
So I was interested to see if these figures like Jordan Peterson or Joe Rogan would pop up anytime soon.
For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth.
Oh yeah, and then we got more AI Jesus.
I hope this isn't the first thing I see when I die.
But then
This
we
is gonna
got
be
what I
all of
believe was the
Facebook
most
soon.
impactful short out of this entire run so far. This one.
What really killed me was last Christmas, we canceled a song that was written in the 1940s called Baby It's Cold Outside. People were triggered by that song. Radio stations wouldn't play it. They said it had toxic masculinity in it, and they said that the lyrics had suggestions of male sexual aggression, which is fine. If you feel
Are we
like
getting some
at the exact same
right-leaning?
time-
I have to rant. I have to rant right now. Back in 2016, I believe it was, everyone realized the song Baby It's Cold Outside is kind of rapey. Like, kind of very rapey when you listen to the lyrics. And so people called that out. And then the next year, the right said last year they canceled this song. And then the next year, the right said last year they canceled the song. This happened in 2016. And assuming this is a recently recorded clip, and this comedy show was somewhat recent, he's talking about it like it was last Christmas, when in reality it was, I was in high school when this cancellation of the song happened.
The number one
Comedy?
song in this nation for over 2 months was entitled Wet ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god.
Yeah, okay, so it is recent, because WAP. He mentions WAP, so he is... Okay, cool.
Let's stay, baby, it's cold outside. I gotta go away, baby, it's cold outside. This evening has been so very nice. With some wet Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet
This is like the same argument that Ben Shapiro had about the song, reading the lyrics, talking about how offensive it is.
Now, I apologize for not letting you watch the entire joke. I know it's really f***ing hilarious, but we have more important things to get to. Because my theory of this joke being...
The joke, by the way, is that it is hypocritical for society to cancel a song that is a dude coercing a woman to stay at his house when she doesn't want to, and she's making excuses for why she doesn't want to stay, and the guy keeps on, like, pestering her. That's literally the song's lyrics. And the other song is written by a woman, performed by a woman, about her own sexuality, which is her doing her own thing consensually. Somehow, WAP is problematic in this guy's view. He is implying that it is, or that people should have a problem with that song if they have a problem with Baby It's Cold Outside, when the issue with It's Cold Outside is the implication that it's glorifying, like, sexual harassment and potentially even rape, while WAP is a song in which a woman is loud and proud about her sexuality completely consensually. Because she wrote and performed that song. Like, the logic here is completely... This is the way that chuds think. There's not any nuance to the way they think. It's anti-nuance. It's counter-nuance, if anything.
Being related to Ben Shapiro was right on the money. Because this is what we got, only 2 shorts later.
You book your next stay on MendenStays.com. 3 years ago, a lot of
You will get your chance to reply.
Oh,
Hold on. I listened to your whole bullshit history for like 5 minutes here, so at least let me respond to it. Your entire claim is that the Arabs did not reject peace, and then in your own disquisition...
I got Ben Shapiro, day 2. I'm like 140 shorts in. The account is called Woke to Unwoke. This is right-leaning. This is a right-leaning short.
Now, from here, I could tell that my shorts feed had pretty much completed the curation process, meaning that I would really only get shorts that fell into one of 5 categories. Cooking.
Curious, like, how the phone...
This is
the
all there
camera
is
like,
on
connected
shorts, though.
to their head, maybe?
Sick movie edits.
Another movie clip.
This is all
edited to
YouTube Shorts
music.
is, to be fair.
AI voiced folk stories.
Some water into a stone bowl.
Yep.
Oh, these
and
stories
slowly
are
walked
so
toward the wolf.
boring.
The gray wolf immediately bared its sharp teeth.
More Christian content.
He will not leave you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed.
And more right-leaning shorts.
Trump is the definition of standing on business.
What's the message to Iran?
Don't.
As President Biden said, just don't.
Exactly. One word.
The right has flooded the internet with videos like this.
In order to protect its students.
Ben Shapiro roast Caitlyn Jenner. Isn't Caitlyn Jenner on the right
Look
now?
at me.
Yeah, exactly. So how is that?
Got Joe Rogan.
Radio? And where's?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'd say we were on the right side of shorts. Oh, and the brain rot had completely overtaken me at this point.
Oh my god, I can't believe they got Big Justice. Boom!
Now, I don't want to bore you and make you watch 250 more shorts with me because we actually have some more important things to get to. And I promise you, you're not missing anything. It was just more movies, recipes, right-wingers, and of course, AI Jesus. Actually, mostly AI Jesus.
That I am stronger in you, that your joy is my strength.
So after feeling blessed
rot
as hell and knowing that we
consumes.
had been recommended a decent amount of political shorts, I was curious to see just how much of the past 10 hours and 28 minutes of doom scrolling leaned to the right. So out of the 500 shorts that I watched, 21 of them were political or political adjacent. If you're really good at quick math, you'll know that that makes up only 4% of the total amount of shorts that I watched. So one thing we've learned from this experiment so far is that if you're a new user on YouTube Shorts and you watch every single short all the way through, politics will get recommended, but it won't be a major part of your shorts journey. And remember, this is only the case if...
What I think is really the valuable thing to pull from this, actually, is that what did you notice in all that time in which he played 500 YouTube Shorts as a new account? All the shit that he saw that had anything to do with politics was about, well, there was all the Jesus stuff, but if we just look at right-wing politics, it was 21 shorts. All of it was right-wing. Not a single progressive short came up after 500 swipes. So when we talk about the fact that the left has no presence online compared to the right, this is actually a really good demonstration of what I mean by that. It's not an over-exaggeration or me dooming. It's me very accurately depicting the situation. The right gained the prominence they have now through controlling the culture war and owning the internet and what people see. The fact that a new user will see dozens of right-wing shorts before they have a chance of getting recommended something on the left is all it takes. Maybe after 1,000 swipes, you'd see a short clip of like ContraPoints or something. I don't know. But by then you'll have seen likely close to 40 shorts that depict just conservative shit. No one is, like, if someone is apolitical but has an interest in things related to politics, they will have been radicalized to the right 20 times over before they're likely to encounter anything left-leaning. This is the situation. When we talk about the internet and algorithms facilitating right-wing radicalization, this is what we mean. And the only way that this can be contradicted, the only way this can be fought against, is to boost progressive figures and to grow progressive figures to the point where they are recommended. And that doesn't just include supporting me, that includes supporting the other creators that you enjoy, and if you think you can hack it, becoming a creator yourself. If you think you can, in any way, efficiently take down conservative talking points, try it out. Upload a few videos on YouTube, see if they do well. If they do, you might have stumbled into a beautiful thing. And you may be able to help a lot of people by getting them out of this right-wing radicalization bubble. Because I'll tell you, getting a message from someone that says, Zan, I was a conservative, but then I watched so-and-so video and you helped me. There's not a much better feeling than reading messages like that. Knowing there are individuals who were convinced and changed their politics away from something awful because of me. It's a good feeling. So I highly recommend, if you guys have even the slightest desire to try out content for yourselves, consider it. Really, look into some YouTube videos about how to start making videos on YouTube. Get OBS, get your account set up, do these things, and you will find that it's rewarding. I find it quite rewarding. I would like to see a lot of you guys try to get into content too. We need to counter this stuff. We need to make sure that It's not just right-wing rhetoric that new users on any new platform are stumbling across. The right owns Twitter. They've owned Facebook for a while. Are we going to let them own YouTube too? Anyway. If you agreed with anything I had to say here, or at least you found it entertaining, interesting, or educational, then please consider hitting the like button and comment down below. Likes and comments, in fact, are completely free, only take a second, and are some of the best way to support my channel, so I really do appreciate it. And of course, in a conversation which we're talking about trying to counter right-wing control of the internet, you can also help that out by supporting my channel, kind of counter the right-wing's narrative domination. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications if you haven't already, so that YouTube tells you when I go live or upload new videos, because if you don't, they won't. And follow my social medias as well, linked down below in the description too, including my Blue Sky account, and join my fan Discord if you haven't already, to be a part of the main hub and pillar of my community and fan base. Finally though, if you haven't already, consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live. If you want to support me financially, you can afford it, and you want to help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio. But if you can't do it through there, you can also do so through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, StreamElements, Patreon, or you can even just buy some Xander Hall merch through the Streamlabs link down below in the description. Regardless, though, of how you support me, even if you're just a lurker watching my content and you're not saying anything, I really, really do appreciate it. And as always, I hope you have a good one.